I have a mental week. I'm actually really stressed. I just had a bit of a cry. Oh, she wants me to play with it. Just want to see. Good morning. I had absolutely no intention to pick up this camera today. And do you know what? I'm still wondering why I've decided to do this because I feel really stressed. Maybe that's why I want to pick this up. Maybe I want to share this. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a real moment in my career this week, which I don't want to say this week will make or break my career because that sounds dramatic, but I'm a dramatic gal, so maybe that is what I'm thinking. I don't know. Anyway, I usually share vlogs like this on my membership on YouTube, but I have been desperate for a different style of content on my main channel for a while. Honestly, I feel like you guys are kind of desperate for it too. And I say that because my views have been fluctuating, to say the least. And I have felt like for a while that I wanted to mix up my content style and stuff. But usually when I share vlogs like this on my main channel, people don't like it because they want like the sit down talking head educational stuff. And don't get me wrong, this is going to be educational. Make no mistake, Jay doesn't film a vlog without teaching something, but I don't know. I don't know if you'll like this style or not. Maybe I won't share it on my main feed. Maybe I will. Who knows? Maybe I won't even finish this vlog. I'm going to attempt to vlog this whole week. It's a big week and it's starting off with some desktop work. It's currently 7 a.m. and then I'm gonna head into London even though it is pouring with rain. She doesn't like it when I wipe her paws. All right, I get it, but you're muddy. By the way, this video is sponsored by Pixar, more on them later. Just remembered the main reason why I wanted to vlog, right? I was just watching, another female founder's vlog. I'll put a link to the episode I was watching below. And I've been watching a lot of female founder vlogs recently. And I was just thinking to myself, this is the content I wanna, excuse me. This is the content I wanna watch. Like, why isn't there more content like this? And then I was like, I'm a female founder. Like, I also have a YouTube channel. I could share this content, you know? Like, I could help fill this content gap. So that is another reason why I thought, do you know what? Now's the time. You right, Mo? She just wants to be in the conversation. Here you go. There you go. There's your moment. Enjoy it. Tell you a secret, and this is actually, it's not embarrassing admitting this, but it just feels, I don't know. I worked last weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and if you're new to my content, you're probably thinking like, why is that a big deal? It's a big deal because I preach about not working. What are you doing? She's been beefing this slipper since the day she was born. It's fine. I'm just gonna let her have it. She hasn't had her walk yet because it's 7 a.m. and it's dark outside. So this is just what happens. If you are new to my content, you'll probably think, why is that a big deal? The reason why it's a big deal is because I preach the importance of not working on a weekend all the time. Like, that is one of the things that I talk about quite often. But I'm just at this stage in my career where I can't not work on the weekend. Like, it feels impossible. To fill you in, I've recently launched a social media marketing agency. It's called Social People. And I launched it maybe 3.5 months ago with this idea that it would be this slow burn and it'd be the business that I'm gonna be running like full time in like 10 years or something. One thing led to another, and let's just say it's growing a lot quicker than I thought it would. So as a result of that, I'm now trying to find time to basically do 2 jobs and run 2 businesses. There's my personal brand, Jade Beeson Limited, which is super busy right now because this is the busiest time of the year for me. And then there's also Social People. So you'll get to see what it's like running both this week, but that is why I had to work on the weekends. However, and I want to make this clear that this is an exception to the rule, and I'm not saying we should work weekends. I am very glad that I did that last weekend because my inbox is looking a lot more manageable. I've had time to really think through some of the big challenges that I was having that I simply don't have time to think about properly during the day because I'm so busy jumping from one thing to another. So I don't recommend it, guys, but on this occasion, I'm glad I did it. By the way, if you aren't part of my YouTube membership, you wouldn't have seen my house yet. And actually, if you are part of my YouTube membership, I owe you an updated house tour because the last one I done, it wasn't furnished. And I mean, I'm not gonna do one now because, you know, work to do and stuff. Also, it's a little bit messy. But isn't it cute? Okay, so done some emails, went back to my management on a few bits, sent out a very important email about a very important lunch that I'm hopefully going to be going on Wednesday. More on that later. And what else did I just do? Oh, I went back to my team on a job posting that we currently have. I haven't actually done my hair properly today. I've kind of just let it, does it need doing? I don't know. I'll put a bit of gel on it. Yeah, so I decided over the weekend that I was gonna put live a job listing for a full-time account director on my agency, which is such a wild hire. Like, that's quite a senior hire, but I just want to get someone for at least 3 months. So it's a 3-month contract to help me manage a new client that I've got who is amazing and has given us this huge brief, but really requires like a lot of senior support. And that's okay, because right now I'm that person. Like, I have enough agency experience to provide that support, which, I mean, thank God, because it's like a different kind of support. It's hard to explain. It's very strategic, like top line support with like their executives. So it goes beyond just like creating content, and it becomes something that is almost like a whole nother skill set. And it's one that I kind of need someone who has a similar level of agency experience to me or more in order to take over, you know? They don't really have time to train someone. And honestly, it's not even like a trainable thing. It's just like an experience thing. So anyway, I'm being that senior person right now, but I can't be that senior person forever. I say forever, like even being that senior person right now is really, really challenging because of everything else going on. Like, I really need to be in my CEO era for this business. I don't want this perfume. It's going to be a good day, so I'm going to use my favourite one. Yeah, I need to be in my CEO era. And I just feel like I can't do that when I'm doing so much of the account stuff, you know? So we're going to hopefully try and hire someone like this week.
Take you off the pedestal. I don't know.
Miserable. I'm going for a breakfast at BAFTA Piccadilly, which is so fancy because you need to be a member in order to eat there. But I'm meeting with an executive producer, not about anything in particular. I just met her at an event recently and we really connected, so we said we'd catch up. So yeah, very exciting. I'll tell you how it goes.
Yeah, that's impressive. How much you're messing with my feelings and my heart. Yeah.
Hi, coming to you looking like a Teletubby, I want to say. This is how I look 99% of the time, because when my hair is like directly up and not tight, it means I can roll around without it bothering me. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing on the sides. Anyway, so my mate's gone. We just had a co-working session and it was great. I cannot stress how amazing it is to have a friend who's doing the same thing, like who's starting the same kind of business as you. It's just so reassuring, like having someone to talk to about it. But yeah, the meeting earlier, guys, the one that I couldn't show you because we were in BAFTA and there is a strict no photos policy in BAFTA. Although I feel like I got a tiny little clip of like the room for you because I was being a bit sneaky. It was with a very impressive woman who is interested in working with me in a few different ways. And it was one of those meetings and days where I just feel like, what? Like, how is this my life? How am I getting these kind of opportunities? How am I having calls and breakfast with these kind of people in BAFTA? Like, what? Yeah. I feel like I've had such a good day. I am behind on work though, so I'm probably going to work for a few more hours. But I just feel like I've had the most energizing day and I'm feeling motivated and I'm feeling overwhelmed, but in a good way. And I'm feeling ready for the week. So I'll see you tomorrow. This week is already shaping up to be quite the roller coaster. Before we jump into the next day of up and downs, I want to quickly take a second to share with you some tools that I've been using, which are helping me stay on top of my content whilst I navigate this incredibly busy season of my life. Now, these tools can be found on Pixar. And if you're not familiar with Pixar already, it's an all-in-one creative platform and they have a huge suite of AI tools which make creating high quality content very, very easy. Let me show you some tools that I've been using recently that I have absolutely loved. So I feel like I just turned even more British than normal then. Okay, so I'm inside PicsArt right now, and as you can see, I've selected a landscape photo which doesn't quite fit this spec. This spec of this graphic right now is 1:1, so it's square, and this isn't quite fitting. I'm going to use AI Expand, which is this button over here. What it basically does is it allows you to expand your image so that it fits the ratio that you're looking for. So let's say I did want your standard Instagram square, which is a bit of an old school ratio now. People don't really use it as much, but let's say that's what I was going for. I would just select it and then hit generate. So what we have to do is wait a few seconds and then hit apply. And just like that, you've managed to extend your photo to fill that full screen. Can you see? Now, I actually use this feature all the time. If you've ever seen a handful of my thumbnails, then just know that you've actually seen this feature being used, because a lot of the time I take photos of my thumbnails or I take screenshots from my videos to use for my thumbnails, and there won't be enough space above my head in order to fit text behind it, right? So I'll use the AI expand feature to ensure that I'm able to still use that photo for my thumbnails. Now, this next feature I want to show you would be like my final touches, and that's AI enhance. So all you have to do is click on the AI enhance button, and Pixar will automatically fix the details of your photo, reduce any blur, add in some pixels, and improve the resolution. What I love the most about this is it's actually going to allow you to see the before and after just by using this little feature here. So as you can see, the after has far better lighting, and generally the resolution looks a lot more high quality. So you just hit apply, and then within seconds, you've expanded your photo and you've enhanced it, and it's good to go. And that is how I stay on top of creating content whilst my week is manic. If you want to get started with Pixar, head to the link in my description. Good morning. I'm here, I'm awake. I've even gone to the shops and got some milk, all by 7 a.m. I'm just going through my YouTube comments from the video that I uploaded yesterday. Was it yesterday I uploaded this? I think it was yesterday, because I think I mentioned to you already, I want to give my YouTube a bit of love. And I go through my comments and respond anyway, but I just figured I would do it straight away this morning, because my last video that I uploaded, it was like a slightly different filming style. I was filming from different spots around the house, and the editing was a bit different, the transitions were a bit different. So I wanted to see if I had any specific feedback on that editing style under my most recent video, because I have more videos to film today, and I'm trying to figure out if one of them I should film in that editing style or not. So yeah, I'm looking at the comments now. And to be honest, if I'm being honest, you guys who comment on my content as soon as it uploads are usually the nicest people in the world. So I'm not really getting like any negative feedback yet, or anyone really saying that they love or hate it. So I don't know, but at least I can just spend some time responding to some people. Interesting. I just realized, so someone commented saying, by the way, your freebies aren't working. And I've just realized my websites aren't working. Or like some of them are. No, my websites are working. Some of the pages aren't working. Sorry, I try not to swear in these. I hate things like that, because that's going to derail my entire morning. Right, it's not that they're not working, it's that YouTube does this thing sometimes where when you copy and paste links, it like abbreviates the link. And it does like a ... on the link rather than actually putting the full link in. So that's happened, which means that the link isn't working. Now you might be thinking, Jade, is that big of a deal? Can't you just go and fix it? Well, if that's happened to all of my descriptions on YouTube, I have over 500 videos. So that's actually a really big problem. And that actually makes so much sense, because I have noticed recently that like I don't have as many, my email list hasn't been growing as quickly as it normally does. But I thought that was just because like my channel's fluctuating, and sometimes I'm a bit too chilled about this stuff for my own good. Like I try to be chill about stuff because I'm like, I'm not gonna wind myself up and freak out about stuff not working. Sorry, I'm looking at my laptop, by the way, in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. I try not to like freak myself out about stuff not working, or like if I have dips in the performance of my content, I try not to get myself down about it. And I'm like, oh, it's fine, it will change, not a big deal. But then what happens is that I don't actually troubleshoot stuff like this, where it's like, no, actually this is actually like, it's nothing to do with your content fluctuating. This is actually a tech issue. What an idiot. I wonder how long it's been like that. Okay, right. I'm gonna have to try and find someone who can help me update all these descriptions ASAP. BRB. Just remembered that I actually need to film sponsored content for this brand, which is KitchenAid. So I feel like now's the right time to do it, since I'm literally making my coffee. So let me do that. Sorry I couldn't show you the BTS of filming that, but I wanted to use my Osmo Pocket to film it, even though it was just for a couple of stories. Sometimes it's easier to do it on the Osmo just because it has its own little tripod. So when filming and I need something that could stand up by itself, instead of like fitting my phone with a tripod, sometimes the Osmo is just easier. Anyway, we're gonna get ready now to head across the garden to my office. I'm gonna film from there today. I've got 2 videos to film. I was gonna film one of them in here just to make it a bit more dynamic and interesting, because the office isn't finished yet. So like you can film in there and it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look as good as it will look. Do you know what I mean? But look, I don't have time. I don't have time to carry all of my kit to the house to film it here. It's already in the office. I'm just gonna film both videos in there, so let's go. I pack a bag, even though I'm just going across there. I will like pack a full bag and stuff. Pathetic. It's freezing. I just got done filming the first video, which was all about how to start a social media marketing agency. And I always do this thing when I film where I have like a mini heart attack when I get to the end of the video because I convinced myself that I didn't record it. Does anyone else do that? It's so silly, but every time I'm like, oh, I've not recorded the whole thing. And I think, I keep on swearing today, sorry. And I think, oh, hello. Hi, Mo. Mojo wasn't very nice to our guests yesterday. You know, I had my friend come and co-work with me. She wasn't very nice. She had to go upstairs and sit with Jamie because she was terrorizing her. Okay, I've got another film to film. I've got another video to film. I'm struggling today. I feel really, really tired. I think it's because I was working until like 10:30 last night, which is so unlike me. But because I was out all day, like I just didn't have enough desktop time. So yeah, I worked until 10:30. I'm glad I did it because I obviously got a lot of stuff done, but I feel so tired today. But I need to get this other video done. So let's get to work. I should really change this setup and move my camera so it's above my desk because this next video is about like chat AI. Oh my God, I can't speak. Chat GPT prompts. So I'm going to be like looking at my laptop quite a bit and I've just got it on my lap and it doesn't translate well because it just looks like I'm looking down all the time. But I just can't be bothered to change the setup. The energy, guys, I'm slacking. And the thing is, today I have a quite long and important workshop meeting with one of our clients for Social People. It's in their offices and the workshop is about the project that we're doing for them. And because I haven't hired an account director, which is the role that went up yesterday, which remind me I need to go through all those applicants, it's still just me doing like a lot of this high level stuff. Like there's no one else there like taking notes for me or anything, or anyone I can like bounce off of, or, you know, so I really have to be on it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it here. Do you ever feel like people are just using ChatGPT to churn out basic content? I just had a bit of a cry. So I thought I would come and tell you about it. I just got an email, which isn't even that much of a problem, but I'm at this state at the moment where like, I feel like I'm emotionally here. Is it here? I'm trying to say that or like here, I don't know. I'm like very emotionally high strung and it doesn't take much to make me want to cry or cry completely. And the reason why I feel like that is because I am quite stressed with everything that's going on. I've had a lot of opportunities recently, which is so amazing. At the moment, I physically don't have the time to do everything and it's making me feel like I'm not making the most of every opportunity, and that like makes me very anxious. So anyway, I had an email from one of my clients for Social People, one of our clients for Social People, and it wasn't even that big of an email. They just want to change the project slightly. But you know, when you've done so much work already and like, you've like briefed the team and like everyone's on board and then they change their mind and switch over and now it's going to be something different. It's totally fine and I'm going to work through it. But you know, when like it just makes you, it's like this intense feeling of overwhelm, like washes you over and then makes you want to cry. So that's basically why I just had a bit of a cry. Oh, this is like the most I've ever struggled with work. I feel like I'm going to cry again. Okay. Yeah. It's the most I've ever struggled with work. So yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, it will be fine, obviously. I think I'm just burnt out. And when you're burnt out, it's so much harder to deal with like minor setbacks. It becomes quite difficult to deal with them. I don't have a solution. This is just the reality of how life feels at the moment, but we're gonna push on because I've still got a big day. I'm gonna have some lunch. It's just so funny how like, yesterday I was like, oh my God, I'm on top of the world. You know, everything's growing so fast and like, this is so amazing. And then today I'm like, everything's so hard. And are we growing as fast as I thought we were? And then now what's annoying, I'm just gonna be like so honest with you. What's annoying now is it's making me question this account director hire that I know I need. And the thing is, like, I've known I've needed this hire for a couple of weeks, but it wasn't until last weekend where I just pulled the trigger and was like, okay, let's actually start looking. And now I'm like, well, is this too soon? Is it premature? But if I don't hire this person, I don't know how I'm going to do all of these things. To put it into context, I feel like I might be talking in circles. You might be thinking like, what is it that's so hard for me to manage? And it's hard to explain. It's one of those things where it's like, someone asks you what you do for work and it's hard to explain. Basically, as part of FREEBIES Unlimited, which is the company that I've been running for a few years now, I do a few different things. I do public speakings. Like this week I've got a keynote talk at Creative Fest, but like almost every week for the past 2 months, I've had some kind of talk, panel, at least one, sometimes 2 per week, because I'm in the middle of public speaking season, right? So there's that, and there's so much that goes into that. Like a keynote, I spent ages creating all the slides for it and all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of work in itself. And then I have the sponsorships that I do, and I have a lot of sponsorships at the minute because I have management, and Q4 is a really busy time for creators in general. So I have more sponsorships than I've ever had in my life, which is fantastic, but also really difficult because I can't delegate sponsored content. Like I have to be the one to create it myself. And then there's the rest of my content that I have to share that's not sponsored, that just keeps up the health of my channel. So that's on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Fortunately, I have people who help me with this now, don't get me wrong, but the ideas still come from me, and like the content itself still needs to be, like I still need to film all this and do this myself, do you know what I mean? So that's that part of the company. Forgot to mention that in addition to that, I also do consultancy for brands and clients. I've closed the doors to that for the last like 6 weeks. I've not taken on any new clients because I don't have the time, but I had clients before that. So I would do like workshops for their teams. I would do consultancy for them, and we'd have calls and kind of dive through that, which takes up a huge amount of time as well. And then there's all the ad hoc stuff that comes with that. Like my website desperately needs updating. I need to update all of my freebies across the board. I need to update all the funnels, all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing. And then there's the collective, which is my membership for creators, which fortunately I have someone who helps me run, but that's obviously a whole thing in itself, which requires like launch campaigns, new content, me to do these check-ins with various people depending on what type of member they are, blah, blah, blah. That's like a whole nother work stream. And then we've got social people, which is a job by itself. Like both of these things are jobs by themselves, but starting a social media agency, people do that in partnership with someone else most of the time. So usually there's 2 people who partner together and do it. And in addition to that, that's their full-time job. So 2 people will do this as their full-time jobs, and I'm trying to do it as like a part-time job. So social people, hold that thought, there's client management for existing clients, and then there's new business, like getting new clients for the doors, doing proposals, doing the strategies, and then going to these client meetings and actually working on the projects themselves, which is a big thing that I need the account director to help me with. And then also setting up the business and setting up the systems and the workflows and the tools, like all of that stuff, again, is a job in itself. It's basically like what an operations director would do. Also needs to be done. Do you want to see what my food looks like? Ta-da! I haven't actually had this one before, but it looks pretty decent for what I would want for lunch. So yeah, there's all of that. And then the part of social people that I should actually be doing is getting investment, doing deals, finding strategic partners, which I'm very much doing as well, whilst I'm trying to do all this other stuff. And then I've had a few other opportunities come through, like the call that I had yesterday, or not the call, the meeting I had, was with someone who wanted to start like a separate company with me, basically. So it's also figuring out like, I really want to do that, but like, how do I find the time to do that? So obviously all of that is stressful, but I think it's not just all the work, it's like this feeling of me wanting to do a good job at every single thing that I do, because I do believe that's how I've managed to get to this point where I get opportunities like this, is because I always try really hard at everything that I'm doing, and I don't want to let that slip, but it's so hard. Like it's really overwhelming. So I know I need help, but it's like, is it the right business decision? I've just in a minute, I'm going to eat and take a breather, and then I've got to leave and go to this workshop and try and bring some good energy, because right now I feel a bit sad. Right, out my meeting, and it went so well. I'm actually feeling so much more positive about things. I've had my freak out for the day, I've had my cry, and now I'm moving on and feeling a lot better. So I'm gonna head home. I literally Googled how to deal with overwhelm on the train on the way here, if that's a signal of where my mindset currently is. Okay, I'm back home, and I'm just doing some more self-reflecting on myself and like how I get myself into situations where I feel this overwhelmed. And something about me is I don't say, ooh, hello, ah! All right. Mojo's very happy that I'm home. Something about me is I don't say no. I don't say no to opportunities. I've just spent the first half of the day getting all emotional because I was like, oh, I don't have enough time. I'm overwhelmed. And then I get a message from my manager being like, hey, big brand, 2-day shoot, you in? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'll make it work. I need to journal. I'm going to journal. It's currently like 4 o'clock, 4:30 or something. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I just got a Greg's. I got a Belgian bun. And I'm just going to like put my PJs on, journal, and then do a few more hours of work. Desperately going to try and log off by like 7 p.m. tonight and just try and take it easy. Okay, I know I said I was going to leave you, but it's still the same day, by the way. I'm just trying on my outfit for Creator Fest. And how cute is this? I have tried so many different outfits. Literally, guys, this is my 4th or 5th attempt. This is obviously like the last ditch attempt because the event is in 2 days. It's Tuesday today, it's on Thursday. But these are my Frankie Shop jeans that I actually wore to Downing Street, and I love them, but I don't get enough wear out of them. So I'm so glad I managed to wear them. And then this is like a new top from ASOS. It's like a jacket and it's got shoulder pads and it's like cinched in. And I just think, oh, and I bought some new boots. I've already got boots like this, but I wanted brown ones. How cute. Like, how cute. Love the silhouette, love the cinching. Like, a bit statement because of the, like, shoulder pads is more of a statement, but, like, still quite smart. You know? Oh, thank God. One less thing to overreact about. Hello. So, I'm about to go out. This is my outfit for the day. It's actually quite cute. It's like a 2-piece. I'm gonna wear some boots. I'm about to head out. I have actually been awake since 5 a.m. I got up really early so that I could get a head start on my work, and I'm so glad I did so because I'm feeling a lot better now. I was saying to Jamie last night, who's my husband by the way, that I feel like I need to just kind of go back to how I used to operate when I first started my channel. Sorry, I'm like doing a bunch of stuff. Let me put you up, hold on. Yeah, so I feel like I need to operate how I used to when I first started running my channel and I first started this business. And back then I would wake up at 5, I'd work until 9 a.m. and then I would like get ready and then log into my day job until like 6. And then the weekends I would film. And I feel like that's basically what I need to do because I feel like I'm running, or I am, I'm doing multiple jobs at once. So I kind of need to go back to that, hopefully only for a couple of weeks. Yeah, hopefully not a long-term thing, but I just have to be realistic with the stuff that I'm trying to do. Something that Emma Grede says, she says, I don't know if she came up with this or not, but to live an extraordinary life requires extraordinary effort. I'm not necessarily trying to live an extraordinary life, just like a good one, but you know, it requires a good amount of effort, right? So that is what I shall be doing. So anyway, I'm off into Central London. I've got 3 meetings back to back. The first is with a company who wants to partner with social people, or at least they're interested in partnering with social people, which would be incredible. Can't really tell you more than that, but it would be like mad. So big day. As I'm sure you can tell, I'm no longer out. I'm coming to you in my full Teletubby mode. Look at my hair. Oh, I'm home and I'm logged on. It's like quite late, it's 7 p.m. I'm catching up on emails after being out of office for the whole day in an outfit covered in coffee. Oh, imagine I had literally like 4 back-to-back important meetings, dropped an entire cup of coffee on me. Like the lid came off and it dropped all over me. Anyway, I was actually really proud of myself because I didn't like panic. I was like, you know what, just own the story and keep it moving. That could have set me over the edge, but I was fine. And I went on to have a lovely day. I'm so sorry I didn't bring you along with me for all the meetings because I went to all these beautiful places, but I went to Soho House twice. I went to one in Dean Street, one in Greek Street, and you're not allowed to film in there. And then the meeting I had in between, I probably should have filmed, but that was the one I was rushing around for and I wasn't there for very long. So I'm so sorry. Also, another fun curveball that I had today is that on my train home, it got stuck and then I had to get off and get an Uber the whole way home. But yet again, I did not panic and I did not get upset and I'm so proud of myself. All in all, I had a good day. I actually had an interesting experience with someone. I was talking to them about my agency and they just belittled it so much. Like it was a really interesting experience. Like I said, like I've launched a social media agency and blah, blah, blah. They were like, oh, but it's just freelancing. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, oh, you're just a freelancer. And I don't like the idea of like just a freelancer either, because like being a freelancer is also a big deal. And I was like, oh, it's not a freelance company, like I have a team. And they just said, yeah, but it's not like you can work with like big accounts. And then, when you're having a conversation, you're like, this can go one of 2 ways. I can either argue with you or I can just leave it. So I just left it and I just moved on and stopped the conversation. But yeah, it's interesting. People will project on you guys. People will project. If they think what you're doing is too difficult or too hard, they'll project that onto you. And sometimes they'll do it to like try and mess with you a bit, you know? Anyway, I didn't let them. I have Creator Fest tomorrow and I've obviously looked through my slides because I created my slides, but I haven't practiced them properly. So I'm going to try and get some emails done for the next hour. And then by 8 p.m, I want to be practicing my slides for at least an hour. And then when I go to bed, another early start. I'll definitely take you with me tomorrow. I'm actually going to give the camera to Alita, who's on my management team. So she'll vlog. So I'll see you there. Hello. Right, I'm about to head out. This is the outfit. I'm feeling cute, feeling confident. Oh, I need a belt. And then I'm going to go. Done with Creator Fest. It was actually great. I wish I could stay a bit longer because I was bumping into so many people who I've literally not seen in years. Oh my god, look at me. Look at the brown rat. Okay, tube's here. Okay, no, the tube wasn't here. Tube wasn't here. But anyway, I've got a meeting now back at BAFTA. So I've literally got 30 minutes to get there. I won't be able to film when I'm there, but I'll show you what I can. Broke it. Perfect angle to put my camera, but the lighting is so bad that I had to put the little lamps on my cooker to try and lighten it. Also, I will say, a bit of a tangent before I actually fill you in. Quite frequently, when I talk to creators about the Osmo Pocket, they will always say, that's what I'm filming this on, what do you do about the colour? Because it like washes you out. I edit it. So like either one of my editors will color grade it, but especially when you see my short form content, which I normally film on my Osmo, it will be edited or color graded before it's shared. So it's normal if you feel like your Osmo is washing you out. If you have the app, you're actually able to just edit the settings before you download it on your phone, and it's really easy. And yeah, so don't stress if you're looking at it and you're like, why don't they look like that? Oh, porridge is ready. Can you believe it's Friday and I've technically vlogged every day? I know what you're thinking. Jade, you've barely vlogged some days. And that's true, but I have picked up the camera every day this week. I've never done that before. So I actually have a whole day at home today, which is incredible. I was supposed to be going out for a meeting in the afternoon, but I now have calls pretty much the whole day, which might not sound good. And if you did this to me, even like the me of a month ago, I'd be like, oh, that's like a really long day if you've got like 6 calls or something. But given what my schedule's been like recently, that is a walk in the park. Just a day at home, the whole day at home. I'm not going into London once. Walk in the park, even if I've got a bunch of calls. I've actually got interviews today with a potential account director for Social People, which is so exciting because I need to hire someone ASAP. The thing about Social People, and I think I mentioned yesterday that I went to a workshop after Creator Fest, and that workshop was with a very impressive, very talented, very accomplished woman who is helping me with Social People, and we are also doing our own little venture together, but more on that in the coming months. So we were doing a big workshop to talk about all the things we're working on together. And one of the things was, of course, social people. And she just raised a lot of points and told me a lot of stuff that I need to do that I simply wouldn't have known if I'd never had this conversation with her, because her experience is very much in growing businesses from the ground up from an operational and commercial perspective, whereas my experience is in the marketing, the new business, and the actual social media work that the agency will be doing. So I don't have the experience that she has. So there's a bunch of stuff that I need to do that I haven't done yet. Like I need to work on my business plan a bit more. There's some things that I need to flesh out. I need to work on a pitch deck. I need to do like cash flow modeling. That was the biggest thing that came out of that, actually. I think my dog wants to go out again. Hold on. Yeah, cash flow modeling is one of the biggest things I need to work on, because I'd never had to do that work for my personal brand. Like we've never really had cash flow problems. Because of my personal brand, I just built up an emergency fund and that was kind of it. And like, whilst I do have people working, God, look how I literally look like I'm dead. God. Whilst I do have people working with me on the business, it's just not really the same. Like I've only really had like 2 full-time people, and it's just different with the agency because I'm starting with employees from the ground up. So it's not like I have 2 years to save an emergency fund. Do you know what I mean? I'm starting from zero, and I immediately have clients where I need to pay for things that they will eventually pay me back for, like hiring a production team to do like some content for them. I need to get their paid spend budget and all this stuff. And how it works is like I manage their entire budget, but I obviously don't have their money until the first invoice clears. So if I need to start paying things like staff, but also additional things that could cost hundreds of thousands of pounds, I have to pay that until they give me the money back, which means I have a serious cash flow problem. And I think I kind of knew that, but I don't think I realized like how serious it is. So yeah, but she's gonna help me with that, and she's gonna help me model it out and stuff. And then she's gonna also help me like navigate investment, because this dog, it's like she goes out for 2 seconds and wants to come back in. Because, what was I saying? I haven't had a coffee yet, hold on. Because there has been some interest in social people from an investment perspective, which is incredible, because I literally incorporated the company last month, and it's got me thinking about investment and about scaling and what that would look like. And obviously I know nothing about getting investment for a company. I mean, I say I know nothing, I know the basics, right? But like I have no tangible experience in this area, and that makes me nervous, but she has a lot of experience in this area. So that was like so valuable, that workshop. But it also just means that I've got a lot of stuff that I need to work on. Now, that brings me back to what I was originally saying about an account director who I'm hopefully going to hire either today or Monday. Like that's how quickly I want to move on this. Because once I get an account director in, they can help me direct the accounts. There's one account in particular that I currently have that's quite big. And at the moment, I'm the most senior. She's got something. What do you have? Oh, just forget it. I wonder if you can see her. Can you see it? I can't be bothered to do anything about it. Jamie said the other day that I've gotten really bad at disciplining her, and he's really right, because I'm so like consumed by work that I just let her run wild. It's really bad. Anyway, I'll get on it in a second. Account director can take over a lot of the stuff that I do for this client. I will still be in all the meetings, but I'll just have someone with me so we can split the workload, or to be honest, they take on a lot of the heavy lifting and I just oversee it, which is what I should really be doing, because then it frees up time for me to do all this other stuff, like to think about investment, to think about the team structure, to do all the SOPs, the operational stuff that I've just not had a chance to do. So that's really exciting, because it's a big hire. Every time I look at myself on the screen, I'm like, oh, why do I look like I'm a dying person? But I don't look so bad. It's because of the lighting, I think. That's what I'm telling myself. So yeah, it will be a big hire for me. But I will say what also makes me nervous, it's only a 3-month contract term, is like having these payrolls. Look at her. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Oh, she wants me to play with it. See? Oh dear. Yeah, hiring all these roles and having all this stuff to pay for when I don't actually have much money in the bank because I don't have money from the clients yet is a weird feeling. It's like a weird level of responsibility that I'm not used to. Again, because I'm starting from zero. Anyway, big day today. As is every day. Because it's cute. Look how cute you look. I was just checking one of my videos, and it was like the first video that I filmed in here, or maybe the second. And whilst I like the backdrop, it definitely needs the lamps to be on. I don't know if you can spot it, but I've got a bunch of lamps back there. And once we drill some holes and then like feed the plugs down so that we can get them to actually light up in the bookcase, I think the background will look so good, but at the moment it's too dark. Maybe I'll try and get Jamie to help me, well, not help me, just to do it for me this weekend, because I think it would make it look so much better. Oh, it takes like 10 minutes to warm up in here, and it's only November, so it's not even that cold. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this office in January when it drops like below 0 degrees. I think I'm just gonna have to come in here, turn it on, and then wait in the house, then come back. It's freezing! By the way, I got gifted this range from El Gato. Isn't this such a cute microphone? And it's like, it's part of their Neo range, and I haven't put up the rest of it yet, but it comes with a webcam and a key light to go like above here for when I'm filming, but also just like when I join calls. Sometimes I feel like when you're a content creator, there is an expectation for you to join a call and have a really good setup, and I don't ever really have that. So I already had my coffee, why am I still doing it?
Oh, it feels so good to take you off.
Even my mouse is cold. Like my mouse is like, feels like I'm holding an ice cube.
Drinking and going back to your place, never to see you again.
I hope the fan isn't too annoying. Like I hope you can't hear it because it's too cold to turn it off. I'm getting a bit agitated. I'm having one of those days. Basically, I need to submit a bunch of slides for an event that I'm doing next weekend, and because I'm so time poor and I'm trying to delegate more stuff, I wrote down all of the content for the slides, and then I briefed a freelancer to design them for me. Now, I actually briefed a freelancer who I've worked with previously, and I really liked the slides that they did the first time I worked together, but this time was so much harder, and I've gone back with feedback the maximum amount of times that I'm like allowed to as part of the deal. And even though I would consider purchasing more rounds of feedback, the slides are due today, so I can't do that. But it's just not where it needs to be at all. Like, you know, when you're going through something and you're like, I can't submit this isn't at the standard that I want. It's just really annoying because I think I assumed it would be pretty much perfect because last time it needed such minor amends. And it doesn't, so I don't know how I'm gonna get that done. It's 9 a.m. now. I need to prep for all of my interviews, and I've got a status call with one of my clients, so like that has to take priority. So I guess I'll just pick this up in the afternoon and see what I can do, but it's a real bummer. It's a real bummer. When this happens, I sometimes fall into the trap of being like, just next time do it myself, but like I need to be able to delegate things. They won't always be perfect, you know? But anyway, I just have to shut that and just focus on interview prep now, I think. Let's do some interviews. Hi! So nice to meet you.
Followed up with confusion, that was just substitution for your lonely bed.
What a week. What a week. Do you know what? Despite the highs and the lows, which I'm very much accustomed to nowadays, it actually was a really good week, and it was a very successful week. Even though I didn't enjoy every second of it, it definitely was successful. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments, because this is usually the type of video I would share on my YouTube membership Behind the Business, where I share like a vlog once a month. But I felt like this was an important video to share more widely on this occasion. It makes me nervous though, so if one day you don't see it as a public video, then you know why. Don't forget that you can get started with PicsArt via the link in my description. If you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this video. It's all about my top tips for creating content in a way that feels easy. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.